So G, I know your personal story. Of course, you're my dad, and I know a lot of the great people that are watching this episode today know your personal story. But let's get into the early obstacles. You put your application in, you're ready to get going, you book some appointments, talk about it from there. And keep in mind, you joined in '88, right?
Yeah.
No cell phones, no social media. Did y'all even have fax machines back then?
No, it didn't.
No fax machines, no email. So I'm very interested to hear some of the early obstacles that you had to overcome, and then how do you think those turned you into the leader that you're in today? So,
well, obviously, communication, as you mentioned, was not as advanced as it is today. Mm-hmm. So back then, you had to make an appointment. You have to obviously go home to a phone, mm-hmm. And where I grew up at, you don't want to make appointments in a phone booth. Right. It wasn't that type of environment I lived in. So you wanted to go home, make a phone call. So I would walk in the house, and your mom would be on the phone already, maybe talk to her mom or her friends, and I would have to wait till she finished that call to get the phone. Or ask her politely, can you get off the phone? I got to make some appointments. And then obviously she would get off the phone, and I would pick the phone up, and I would dial, hopefully in the same area code, because back then they actually charge you if you have to dial outside of your area code.
Wait.
And so, yeah, that's right. So if you dialed anything, like I lived in a 213 area code, if I dialed a 714 area code, that's a long distance call. And you would pay for that.
That's crazy.
So you try to stay within your little 213 area code. And then, so I picked the phone up, and I would call, let's say, Art Martinez, if it was around at the time, which he wasn't, but if I had to call Art Martinez to book an appointment, I would hope that Art would be at home. Remember, the person on the other end has to be at home.
Oh, wow.
And if they're using the phone, right, they have to also click over and answer.
Right.
So you have to deal with that. Well, actually, before then, it wasn't even a click over. It was bump, 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 bump. That means the phone's busy.
Oh, wow.
Now watch this. So I call the number, right? At the literally dial all 7 digits, okay, one by one. There was no speed dialing. Then you dial and you get bump, 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 bump. That means that they're on the phone already talking to somebody else. Mm-hmm. So now you got to figure out when they're going to get off the phone. It could be 2 minutes. It could be 30 minutes. It could be an hour or two. And so what do? You go bump, 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 bump. I'll call the next person, right? And the next person, someone answers, and the spouse will say, oh, he just left and went to the store. When is he going to come back? Well, he'll be back in about an hour. So, right? So there's no cell phones. Now I'll tell you, the technology we did have then was beepers. So I could beep the person, get it? But then they have to wait till you get home to use the phone to call me back.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Well, it sounds crazy, and you probably not want to live in that world, but what I tell you what it did do, it made us learn faster of how to be independent from your coach. Because obviously it takes a long time, at least it seemed like that to me compared to today, to get one appointment.
Right.
So, and also too, though, we did a lot of pop-bys, where instead of waiting for someone to be home, I knew if your phone was busy, you were at home.
Right.
So guess what I would do if I really wanted to talk to you? I would hop in my car, and I just straight drive to your house, right? Because I know you're home. You're just not answering the phone.
Right.
And check this out, Gary. We would get to people's homes sometimes, unannounced. Hey, Art, just talk about it. Say, how you doing, man? What's going on? You guys home? He answers the door, comes to the door. He gets inside. I said, man, I've been trying to call you. He says, oh, Gary, my phone fell off the hook. Yeah, that means maybe you bumped it and didn't know it 30 minutes ago, and the phone was on the floor off the hook, which means it's showing a busy signal, but he didn't even know it. So he's been sitting there watching the game all day long, and I've been trying to call him all day long.
That sounds like a headache.
Yeah. But I tell you what, you see it as a challenge because obviously you're in 2021,
right?
But that was just the norm. Like what you're doing right now, your kids will think it's slow when they hit your age.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So booking an appointment was not the easiest thing to do. Then finding your trainer and then beeping them, waiting for them to call you back to confirm that they're going to come to the appointment and be there at that time. And a lot of times we had a lot of miscommunication with my trainer. That means they thought, that it was Wednesday, but it was really actually on Thursday.
Right.
You can't undo that.
Yeah,
You now got to call the client and say, we do next Wednesday.
Right.
Because my trainer thought it was on Thursday. You have to deal with the elements of the weather, traffic, all those things we had to deal with back then. But it made me a better person because I had to learn to do it on my own. Then obviously dark house. You get somebody's house and you spoke to them an hour ago before you made your 45-minute journey.
Yeah.
And you get all the way over there. And sometimes it's just, I do it myself too. You forget.
Right.
Even though I talked to you 45 minutes ago, somebody came and interrupted what was going on. Could be a cousin came from out of town, and they just want a real quick run to the mall. And I totally forgot about it. So people did that to us all the time, and you got to drive back.
Dark house is definitely way different than a dark Zoom.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, dark Zoom is a joke.
It's a walk in the park.
Yeah, exactly.
My appointment cancels, I book another appointment in 5 or 6 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take me no time, And so hearing the things that you had to overcome, I definitely think it made you a better leader. Now let's talk about the team development. Like you did tell me that you went out and opened up your own office. You felt a little too early. Can you kind of talk about that in early team development and how you and your team had fun? Because a lot of guys believe, I promise you, a lot of guys believe that you're just hustle, work, and not have fun. And the stories that you tell me and the way that you taught me how to do the business, dude, is freaking fun.
Yeah, I'll tell you this, okay? First of all, financial services sounds so boring. Just the name alone sounds boring to the average person, right? And so we wanted to make it fun. We didn't have an office. The office that I actually was a part of was an hour and 20 minutes away from my home. All right. And so we had to do something local. So my home became the command center. Right. I had my 3 or 4 recruits come over and we'd sit at the kitchen table and we'd go over all the business cards, that we got from people that we met throughout the week. And we'd sit there and we'd fight over that phone. Hey, man, I need the phone next, man. You already used it 3 times. And we'd just have fun. Say, hey, guys, let's do this. Let's go to the mall. Just impromptu. We hop in the car, 3 or 4 of us in the car, and we go to the mall, prospecting. Hey, you guys, you want to do some pop buys on total strangers? What do you mean? We just go to a neighborhood and see who's out there watering his grass and talk to the guy.
Hey, you told me about fish bowling. Can you do that?
Fish bowling, yeah. Fish bowling was basically where you go to a restaurant, right, and they have the fish bowl with business cards in there, right? We would actually go to like a Walmart. They were not around then. It was called, in our community, Zodi's. They're out of business now. Right? But you go buy this little bitty fish bowl. When you put a little goldfish in, we go buy a bunch of those, right? And we put on the fish bowl free lunch. Drop your card, right? And then people drop their cards, and the restaurant owner didn't care because we'd be bringing him business.
Right.
So he puts a fish bowl at the front lobby, put free lunch, drop your card. And people drop their business cards in it. Then we'd take that bowl and call each person and say, you put your name into a sweepstakes for lunch, right? We'd like to treat you to lunch.
That's tight.
Yeah, and then that person said, I would love to treat you or go to lunch. Then we'd meet with that person for lunch because they won the lunch, and we'd sit and talk business.
Yeah, no. See, I like that. That's true innovation, especially when we're in the social media era today. Yeah. Everybody is trying to find a way to innovate, but I think that grassroots guerrilla marketing innovation is where the fun comes in because it could work, but it could not work.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you recruited anybody from that or got some great clients from that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I think it's the thought process of, man, let's just try it.
Everything works if you do it long enough. See, everything works, but people, they'll start something and stop it. Doesn't work in 5 minutes, they get frustrated and try something else.
Right.
And they try 50 different things in the same time frame. They could have just stuck with that one play and ran it until they got good at it.
That's good.
So I've done it all. We had fun, man. We used to laugh at each other, right? One guy would get rejected. We'd laugh at our guy. Oh, you got rejected. We had so much fun. It was never like, oh my God, I got to get up and go prospecting.
Right.
It was like, let's go prospecting, guys.
Yeah.
Then we play games with it. Hey man, if I get more numbers than you do, then you got to treat me to something to eat. Something simple. $3.
Food court, Panda Express. Something.
Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. Yeah. For 4 or 5 of us, we'll say, how many numbers you got? I got 13 numbers, right? I got 10 numbers, right? Now, mind you, I'm the coach, right?
Yeah.
Even when I was a regional leader, I was running my own crew. right? So you got 3 numbers, this guy got 4 numbers, he got 8 numbers. Oh, I won, I got 11 numbers. Then they would say, Coach, how many numbers you got? I go, well, you got 3, you got 6, you got 4, you got 11, so I got 22 numbers. And they would go, oh, Coach. I go, I'm kidding, I'll treat you all y'all to lunch.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, but we just did to have fun. It was cool.
Yeah, man. I think and taking that and harnessing that energy today, I mean, I think it's 1,000 times easier, especially with social networking and just how we've been able to do our business. You know, I love what you said. If you do something long enough, it works. And I've really seen that a lot of people are over here one day, over there the next day, not giving themselves 90 to 120 days to see the fruits of their labor, man.
Right.
And so we're having a ball doing it. And so I really wouldn't think that I'd be where I'm at. The leaders that we have, we wouldn't be where they're at if it wasn't for bridging the gap between how you built your business and then taking those things and implementing them today just with a little bit of a different spin.
Right.
And I think that's why we're having such a ball doing this. I mean, I got this guy, Monte Bonner. I mean, he's 23 years old, killing it, but he's having a freaking ball. April Bonner, his mother, having a ball. Vivian, Sergio, Adrian having a ball because of the environment and the way that you taught us how to do the business.
Yeah.
We're having a good time, man. So,
well, you know, obviously my entertainment background, your entertainment background, that helps too, because you know, we like to have fun.
right,
You know, entertainment is fun.
right,
And so we decided, well, how do we integrate, you know, it was just taking our team to a baseball game, you know, or taking them to a concert, giving them front row seats, VIP passes, backstage passes.
Yeah.
So we made it a fun thing where they wanted to go to the kitchen table and educate Middle America.
Got it.
Because there was something that was at the end. It wasn't money. It was collaboration. It was camaraderie. All that was built into at least our system.
right.
And it makes people feel like they're not working, but they are making moves. They're changing lives.
Wow.
You know, but we made fun of it.
Wow. So that's good, man. Well, I appreciate you taking time to talk to us today, man. Hey, I told you I was going to end it this way. I just love spending time with you, and I love having the conversation, and I love you for being able to give me that knowledge and wisdom, man. So I appreciate you.
Well, I love you
G.
too for being a great player, team player,
Dad.
and a son as well, man.
You the man, G.
Yeah,
We
we got a lot of work to do, though, so it's not over.
Let's get to it, Dad.